Welcome to Nexa Tunes Insights, the podcast for independent artists and labels who want to stay one step ahead in today's music business. I'm Chris, and as always, I'm joined by a charming co-host. Together, we dive into the trends, challenges, and real stories shaping the industry today. The music industry just hit a stunning milestone. Artificial intelligence now generates over 40% of all new tracks added to major streaming platforms each month. But here's the real kicker. Most listeners can't even tell these AI-created songs from human ones.
That's a pretty alarming statistic. How is this affecting real musicians trying to make a living through streaming?
Well, it's creating what industry analysts are calling a royalty crisis. These AI-generated tracks are competing for the same finite pool of streaming payments, effectively diluting the revenue for human artists. I was looking at recent data showing that average per-stream payouts have dropped nearly 30% since AI music gained traction.
Though I've heard some artists are finding clever ways to adapt to this new reality, right?
Exactly right. And this is where it gets interesting. Instead of fighting against AI, forward-thinking musicians are essentially saying, if you can't beat them, learn from them. They're using the same sophisticated tools and analytics that power these AI systems to optimize their own releases.
What kind of tools are we talking about specifically?
So platforms like Chartmetric and Soundcharts give artists deep insights into listener behavior when their fans are most active, which playlists drive real engagement, even predictive analytics about which tracks might connect best. And here's what's fascinating. Some independent artists have seen their streaming numbers jump by 200% or more just by using these tools strategically.
But doesn't this feel like it's taking some of the soul out of music creation?
That's what I thought at first too. But the artists I've spoken with say it's actually freeing them up to be more creative. By using AI tools for the mechanical stuff, like mastering tracks or optimizing release timing, they can focus more energy on the actual artistic expression.
So how exactly does this work in practice? Like, what does a modern release strategy look like?
Let me break it down with a real example. There's this indie artist, can't share the name, but they used AI analytics to discover that their core audience was most active between 1 and 3 a.m. in certain cities. They completely restructured their release schedule around this, coordinating with local promoters in those markets, and saw their engagement rates triple.
That's pretty remarkable, using technology to enhance rather than replace the human element.
And here's another fascinating trend. Some artists are using AI to create different versions of their tracks optimized for specific platforms. Like, they'll have one version that works better for TikTok, another for Spotify playlists, while keeping the core artistic vision intact.
Though that raises questions about authenticity, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And that's why transparency has become so crucial. The most successful artists in this new landscape are very open with their fans about how they use AI tools. They're making it part of their story, showing behind the scenes of modern music production.
What about the issue of AI copying established artists' styles? I imagine that's a growing concern.
Oh man, it's huge. We're seeing cases where AI-generated tracks are so good at mimicking specific artists that even dedicated fans are getting confused. But here's the interesting part. This threat is actually pushing artists to focus more on building direct relationships with their audience through community building and personal interaction.
So in a way, the AI threat is making music more human?
That's exactly what's happening. Artists are realizing that while AI can replicate sound, it can't replicate authentic human connection. I'm seeing more musicians doing intimate live streams, creating exclusive content for their core fans, really doubling down on the personal touch.
What do you think this means for the future of independent music?
Well, looking at current trends, I believe we're heading toward a hybrid model where success depends on effectively combining human creativity with AI tools. The data shows that artists who embrace this approach are seeing 40% better engagement rates than those who either reject technology entirely or rely too heavily on it.
Sounds like we're witnessing a real paradigm shift in how music is created and distributed.
You know what? I think we're actually seeing something even bigger. the emergence of a new kind of artist, one who's part creator, part data scientist, part community builder. And while that might sound scary to some, it's actually creating more opportunities for authentic connection in music, not fewer. That's it for today's episode of Nexatunes Insights. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends in the industry. You can find more insights, articles, and resources on blog.nexatunes.com. Until next time, stay creative, stay independent.